Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Take Charge of Your Health. This is week 13 and the last week of this series, but in my opinion, this is the most important piece of your health, and that is divine trust. And I'm going to share with you why I feel that way. And I also want to share an example with you. Last night, we had a little scare at the house. A couple hours before we went to bed, I walked in my bedroom and I smelled this really odd smell that wasn't familiar to me. So my husband wasn't home, but he was out back at my son's house, our son's house, and but he happened to walk in at the same time I was getting ready to call him, and so I said, Chris, will you come in and take a smell in the bedroom? I said something's wrong, and so he went in and started smelling around, and he started looking around, and it took a while to figure out what was going on, but we ended up with a chimney fire. It was scary, but at that time, during all this, I had a choice. I could be fearful and scared and worried and stressed and all those negative emotions. I could have chose to do that, or I could have chosen to just stay calm, be there to help Chris, and just start praying and trusting in God. And I chose to do the trust in God because I've learned over the years that taking excuse me, taking matters into your own hands that are out of your control gets you nowhere but grief, heartache, and potential health issues. If it's a chronic thing that you're chronically worrying, chronically stressed, worried about other people, worried about what they think, worried about this, worried about that, eventually it's going to take a toll on your health. So, last night, I did a lot of praying and I was just there to support Chris and help him wherever he needed to be. It took us 2 or 3 hours to figure out the problem and to contain the problem and to get through the problem. But the whole time, yes, I was concerned, but I wasn't frantic. I wasn't worried. I wasn't stressed. And what I needed was just some peace. And so by trusting in God and just giving it over to Him, it gave me some calmness and some peace, and knowing that He was in control, knowing that He was going to take care of us. He loves us. He doesn't want anything to happen to us. And so I did go to bed later than usual, only because we wanted to make sure the fire was out, everything was stable. And I did end up sleeping in another room just because of the chimney does go through our bedroom, and we had to tear the bedroom apart to get to the chimney. So my bedroom was a mess and it was full of smoke from the fire extinguisher. So we just I went to another room to sleep, and my husband stayed in the living room just to keep an eye on the chimney and everything. So I'm thankful for my trust in God, because without it, I would have been a lot worse last night. In fact, that's him behind me walking around. Um, I would have been a lot worse last night, and I would have been a basket case. I wouldn't have slept at all. And as you know, sleep is very important to our health, and especially for me, I need my sleep. So it's going to be a long day because I am tired, but not because I was up all night, but because I went to bed later than usual. So just a little example of trust in God, and that's just one of very minor issues that I've dealt with over the years. As I've gotten older, I've learned more and more to trust in God, because for me personally, I don't like being stressed. I don't like being worried. I like to take control of things, and if I can't control things, I have learned to let go and let God take care of them. And He'll take care of them in His way, not my way. They're usually two different ways, His way and our way. He knows the best way for us. He knows our path. He loves us so much that He sent His own Son to die for us on the cross so we can have life with Him in heaven. How much more love can you give than to give your own Son? So if He loved us that much, He's not going to stray us wrong. He's not going to put us in harm's way unless there's a purpose, unless you have denied Him, unless, I'm sorry, I'm preaching, but this is so passionate for me to have a relationship with God that I just want to share with you how important it is. The key to happiness, the key to health, the key to everything is your relationship with God. Because with that, all things are possible. You can get through any and everything with God by your side. So I'm going to share my screen now, and start the presentation. So right here, God has dealt to every man the measure of faith, Romans 12:13. So like I said today, we are going to be talking about divine trust and health and how they are connected. So do we really trust God? And I know, like I just mentioned, over years, I've learned to trust Him more and more as we get older and situations come up, things that are out of our control. We have two ways to go. We can take it in our own hands, or we can trust in God. When life is a mess, do you wig out and become really stressed, or do you have peace because you trust in God? When you become anxious and worried, it sets into motion many psychological and biochemical reactions within your body that are bad for your health, like headaches, intestinal problems, chronic pain, skin problems, sleepiness, are just a few issues that might be related to a chronically unsettled mind and heart. And even potential heart attacks. People that are overstressed can have heart attack symptoms and go into the hospital and have a complete cardiac workup and find out it's stress related. Their heart's fine. It's just your body reacting to the stress in your life. So here is what I always do is I put the link below of where I get this information. So this is the link that I got this information from. So we need to have a better trust and closer relationship with God to help us through these times, because you know what? These times are getting harder and harder. Just look out in the world. The pandemic going on right now is killing people, not just medically, but physically, psychologically, mentally, and literally are killing people because they don't know what's going on. They can't control this. They're scared, they're fearful, they're worried, but you can prevent that by just totally trusting in God and letting Him take care of you. Because you know what? If you return the love to Him that He so much gave to us, He's going to take care of you. So the next one, this is from Pastor Rick Warren, and he's a very famous speaker. He's on television, he's on the radio, he's everywhere, and he's a really good speaker. So God has given us the gift of our body, and it comes with an owner's manual, and that manual is the Bible. In it are all the instructions you need to take care of yourself and live a long life. You already know the basics. We've already discussed over the last 12 weeks proper nutrition, exercise, good night's sleep, stress control, drinking water, getting exercise, fresh air. All that is great and it's needed. But here's a health factor you may not have thought of for living well, is that trusting God is also a huge factor in your health. It's good for your health. The Bible says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. And the rest of it is, in all thy ways acknowledge Him and He will direct your path. So by acknowledging God, acknowledging that you love Him, that you trust Him, He is going to direct you in the right way. Now, it's not always the way we want or we think it is, but in the end results, you are going to look back and say, I'm glad I trusted in God. Because why is trusting in God good for your health? Because when you trust in Him, you don't worry as much or at all, depending on how much your trust is. Also, in Psalms 116:7, it says, I said to myself, relax, because the Lord takes care of you. If you really trust in God, you're going to be less stressed. The Bible also says in Proverbs 14:30, a heart at peace gives life to the body, but envy roots the bones. It's not just what you eat that matters, it's also what eats you. You can have all the right macrobiotics and organic food, but if your body is filled with resentment, worry, fear, lust, guilt, anger, bitterness, or any other emotional disease, it's going to shorten your life. And that's proven. Research has proven that. But the good news is this. When we replace our worry with greater trust in God, we make a major step towards living a healthier life. And here's the link from Pastor Rick Warren. There's more information, all kinds of information. I just put just a little basics on here for you. But if you want to research him more, he's a great speaker. A lot of good, encouraging words from him. And then, this is an amazing fact I found in my research. According to Reader's Digest report, in a nationwide study of 21,000 people, those who prayed and attended religious services more than once a week had a 7-year longer life expectancy than those who never attended services. So if you're looking to live longer and happier and healthier, try adding God in your life somehow. Start small. He's not expecting great big miracles overnight. Just start out small and work, and God will work with you. All right, so the social factor. Healthy people need people. The Lord God said, "It is not good that man should live alone." That's why when he created Adam, he also created Eve, because he wanted us to have companionship with each other. From the beginning, God created man to be a social creature. We have been pre-wired with a need for healthy, trusting relationships. Have you ever looked closely at the 10 Commandments? You'll find the first 4 deal with our relationship with God, while the final 6 help us have a trusting relationship with our fellow human beings. This is why Jesus summarized the Decalogue with these 2 great commandments: to love God and to love our neighbor. Matthew 22:37-40. Amazingly, modern studies reveal that many health problems can be traced to a breakdown in trust between people. But even more important, trust in God has become increasingly recognized by medicine for its healing influence. That's why it is so sad that we are now living in a world where divorce is as common as changing tires, and lonely people sequester themselves in towering concrete cubicles. The television has become a constant companion, while text messaging has replaced a meaningful visit with the neighbors. And I see young people all the time sitting on the couch, and instead of talking face to face, they are literally texting each other, and they are sitting on the same couch. I'm sorry, but that's sad, because that's not how we were created. That's not how God intended us for us to be. He intended us to have a relationship of one-to-one. And of course, nowadays it's hard because of the pandemic, but we will get through this pandemic, and we will be able to connect with our family and our friends and our neighbors again. This is only temporary. So while we're in a temporary situation, get on the computer. A lot of people are computer savvy. Do a Zoom meeting, do a Facebook chat, do something where you can see each other face to face and not text messaging. Because if you are not seeing people face to face, your message could be misinterpreted way farther than what you intended it to be. Trust me, I've been there. So do something face to face. If you can't be in person, at least do face to face by computer or by your phone or something, so people can see your facial expressions and really understand and know what you're meaning by what you're saying. Because people can misinterpret messages very easily, very quickly, and it can have a lot of unintended, unnecessary hurt feelings, hurt relationships. I mean, there's just a lot of damage that could be done in a text message and not intentionally. So facts: people who have never married have the highest risk of premature death in the U.S. This is all from the amazinghealthfacts.org. People who are divorced or separated are 27% more likely to die early, and married men are half as likely to commit suicide as a single man, and 1/3 as likely as divorced men. Now, that's quite the interesting facts. And that just shows you that God wants us to have a companion. Excuse me. So, faith and health. By now, you may have come to realize that you need help to improve your health and live in harmony with the health principles. Perhaps you have been trying to improve your lifestyle, but you realize that your efforts to change the habits that have impaired your health have been fruitless. Have you considered that the power to change may need to come from within without rather than within? So for some people, the changes that need to be made are only small ones, but for others, the changes may seem huge. Regardless of the changes that need to be made, achieving good health and maintaining it may best be accomplished by not trying to make the changes, but by trusting that the changes be made. Now, I'm going to repeat that because it's very important. Trying to accomplish changes may not be trying to make the change, but by trusting that the changes can be made. So if you really have a sincere heart of making a change in your life and you are doing everything that you can to make that change happen, then what you need to do is you need to trust in God, know that He has your back, He has your best interest, He loves you, and you keep doing your part, and God's going to do His part. Lasting change can only come when you realize how ineffective your own efforts have been to fight the disease or the habits that have been brought on to the disease. So, like a good example is if you go to the doctors and you get a bad health report. Nobody wants a bad health report. But what you do with that is that you go home, you pray about it, you reassess your life. Is there something I can do to change to help my health issues? Then you do pray. You go to God and you say, Lord, I'm not ready for this, but I'm here. Help me through this. Show me what you want me to do. And then let God talk to you about it. Let Him walk through you step by step. And when God talks to you, respond to Him. Let Him work with Him as a partner, just like you work with your doctor. God is another resource to help you through these difficult times. You just have to learn to let go, pray, trust, and let Him tell you. Sometimes He doesn't say anything for a while because He's waiting for something. I mean, nobody can say why. Nobody can tell why God does what He does because nobody knows. But trusting in God and letting Him talk to you when the time is right is the best thing. So if there's a day that goes by and you feel like God hasn't talked to you, just keep waiting. Just trust in God. Keep waiting. Do what you know you need to do. Work with your doctor. Get the support you need from your family and friends, and let God lead you through it. Many, many, many people, there's tons of stories out there that have shown that God has healed them through trust and gotten them through difficult times. Peter expresses his trust in God this way: casting all your care upon Him, for He cares for you. 1 Peter 5:7. Anxiety or worry is a state of mistrust and has led to many dire and evil consequences, from a drug addiction to suicide. It can cause high blood pressure, heart disease, and even cancer. Resentment, hate, and anger cause anxiety. Anxiety and resentment may indicate a lack of necessary trust that leads to a peaceful and content existence. That's Matthew 6:25-34, if you want to look it up. Anxiety is gripping our nation due to natural disasters, economic insecurity, broken families, and social deterioration. This is a time to cast your anxiety upon God and trust in Him. Now, this is the link below is where I got this information. There's more information. Also, Dr. Neil Nedley is an amazing resource. He has a program called New Start, and it's all capitals because it has it's I've lost the word, but the last T in New Start stands for trust. So I'm going to put the link in the comments below when I'm done with here, and you can listen to him. And there's tons and tons and tons of videos on YouTube about his New Start program that I have shared on some of my other topics. So I will share this with you on trust that he talks about. So now also, Hope Awakens is a series from It Is Written on YouTube, and they have their own website, hopeawakens.com. They did this, I think, in the middle of the summer, and I watched a few of them, and it's a really good series where they talk about the future of the world. They talk about what's happened in the past, about the Bible. They put the Bible in with worldly past, present, and future events. So it connects prophecy with what really is, and is going to happen. So during this week on my Facebook page, I'm going to be sharing the first 3 videos of the series. It's a totally free series. It's online. You can either sign up through their webpage by email, or you can just follow them through their YouTube, because all of their videos they posted on YouTube. So I'm going to share the first 3, and if it's anything that you like and that you are interested in, you can continue to follow them on YouTube. But this is a great way if you're looking for answers, if you are looking to find out what's going on with the world. How does God fit into the world today? A lot of people say, well, where is God? Well, God is where you put Him. You know, if you put God in your life, God's in your life. If you shut God out, God's out of your life. So our world is the way it is because we've taken God out of our schools, we've taken him out of the Pledge of Allegiance, we've taken him out of here, we've taken him out of there. God is not going to force himself on us. He needs to be invited. And he's waiting at the door for you to open it up and invite him into your life. He's not going to force himself into our life. So this series is an amazing series that helps you either start connecting or reconnecting with God. It talks about life and the events that are going on, and it also talks to you about having a relationship with God. So if you're interested in starting or renewing or continuing a relationship with God and you don't know where to go, this series is a really good place to start. So I hope you find that this is helpful. I hope this was not too preachy. I'm very, very passionate about my faith, very passionate about God, because he has gotten me through so many different situations. And I know without a shadow of a doubt, if I did not have my faith through the trials I've had over the years, I would be a lot worse and I would be a basket case today. Because in my opinion, when a crisis hits, you have two ways to go. You can either go God's direction or you can go the world's direction. And the world's direction usually ends up with catastrophe and heartache and pain. But God's direction will lead you to peace, love, and contentment. I choose the peaceful way. I'm not a drama person, and I like harmony and peace and happiness, and that's the direction God's going to lead you. Now, it might seem at days that it's not headed that way. Just hang on. God's with you. He's going to get you through it. So I'm thankful for my faith, and I just want to share it. So I apologize if I come across preachy. I'm just sharing with you my passion in my heart, and I hope that's a passion for you, or going to be a passion for you. But here's my information. If there's anything that I can help with, if you have any questions. Also, I talk a lot about essential oils. If you're having a hard time calming down, if you're having a hard time relaxing, if you're having a hard time focusing or concentrating, essential oils can be amazing benefit to add to whatever issue that you're dealing with. If you want to spend some time with God and you just need to relax, you can do some deep breathing. You can find an essential oil that you like, but make sure it's a good, pure essential oil, because you want the best benefit. So the better the oil, the more benefits you're going to get from it. So if you have any questions about what essential oils, what brands are, contact me. I can share with you what I've learned, the essential oil brand that I use, why I use that brand. I'm happy to share anything that I can with you to help you on your path. So here's my contact information. I do send out a weekly newsletter each week with a different topic. So if you're interested in getting this free weekly newsletter, either contact me somehow with your email address, or you can go right to my webpage, and there's a spot there you can put your name and your email address, and it comes directly to me, and I automatically put you on my list. And you can be taken off the list anytime. There's no commitment, there's no fee, there's no nothing. I'm just sharing with you what God has shared with me and the experiences and my information and my research. I'm only here to share and help you on your essential oil journey. If you are interested in that, I do more into the essential oils. So I want to thank you all. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I want to thank you all for joining me during these last 13 weeks of Take Charge of Your Health. This is a series that God put on my heart earlier this year, and I worked putting it together all summer, and I hope it's been a help. I appreciate those who have followed me. So this is my last series class on this series, and feel free to share this. I do post these on YouTube, so if you want to have a place to go back and rewatch them or share them, go to my YouTube channel. They are all there. And I hope this has been a help. I hope you guys have a great Sunday, a great week, and God bless, and stay safe and healthy.